think the honorable thing for our species to do is deny our programming. Stop reproducing. Walk hand in hand into extinction. One last midnight, brothers and sisters opting out of a raw deal.
Do not trust any friends or family members. I repeat, do not.
Say that again, sir.
No. Oh, sorry. Yeah. You know what I was thinking too.
No.
I like to start with a critic.
Okay, go on.
Yeah. So today, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna do Frank Miller, Booze, Broads, and Bullets, 11 Sin City Yarns.
All right.
This is lovely. Originally published in the first trade paperback edition is December 1998.
That seems about right, actually. Oh wow, is that the one you have?
Yeah.
Oh Jesus Christ, you've had that for a long time. Okay, go on.
Damn right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And anyway, I just want to shit on critics because like there's actually a picture of this guy. So he's kind of sweaty looking. He's greasy. He's got a really shitty beard. He looks like you know what he looks like Post Malone with no fucking tattoos. He's just like a wavering, like a sort of a just like a run of the mill piece of shit. I bet his jeans smell bad.
Wavering. Ouch.
Yeah. So here he goes. To call Sin City noir is to misunderstand the genre, and perhaps Miller does. Each story ends pretty simply in brutal fighting and murder and lacks genuine integrity or ambiguity.
You're right.
Pretty much everyone is either noble or a heartless villain, particularly the female characters who are largely portrayed as innocent angels that need protecting or soul-sucking succubi who use their sex to serve their ambitions. Everyone is either selling their body or punching people. So obviously the normal rules of morality don't apply. But every plot plays out like a pulpy Greek tragedy. At best, our heroes survive with buckets of blood on their hands. At worst, they take some small comfort in silly accomplishments before they expire.
Right.
That's like, first of all, like these fucking guys, like, do you read that back to yourself?
I think the funny. No, go on. Yep.
And that's the other thing. I think the funny thing is that's exactly what, like, Frank Miller, who's obviously an very accomplished writer.
Yeah.
and also film writer, is literally going for that.
Yeah.
Like not only purposefully, but like aggressively.
Yeah. The funny, like what I found funny, like as you were reading it to me, I was like, this guy misunderstands. Because it's exactly like you say, like Frank's going for this, like that's the point. And if you don't like it because that's the point, it's not because Frank did anything wrong. He's just not your cup of tea, which is fine. Frank the Tank is not everybody's cup of tea. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Because this is a weird thing. Sin City is a weird thing.
Yeah.
It's a weird time and place, and it's yeah, well, we'll get right into it anyway. But it's just one of those things that's like, I mean, they even did a gorgeous job translating it to film, which I'm sure you're familiar as well. That Robert Rodriguez did it, and the cast was outrageous. The people that wanted to be involved were insane. Every single person cast, even for B roles, was phenomenal. But yeah, it's just one of those things. It comes off very bizarre, and it's not it's not for everybody.
Yeah, I think the movie comes off more bizarre because I'm not sure which one you want to tackle first, but I just did a quick, reminder of over the last half hour, just kind of like
movie.
Yeah, just jumping around to give myself like a sense of like, oh yeah, fuck this, oh my goodness. So yeah, we could go movie, but I think let's talk the book first and then like intersplice it with talk about the movie, because I think there, maybe like our Fist of the North Star treatment, that kind of worked out. I think that's appropriate here. Although like we didn't read Dame to Kill For or Hard Goodbye or any of that shit, but I know those books back and forth.
Oh yeah, me too. I mean, I got them all, and And I like to treat myself,
Yeah. I didn't get as far as reading, what was it? I think it's Helen back, maybe. Anyway, the last one. I don't think I ever got around to reading that. Maybe not Family Values either, but otherwise I got a lot of Sin City under the belt.
Oh, well, I mean, you're gonna if you ever read those, I don't think you'll be surprised.
Yeah, it's not gonna be. So, yeah, well, like the book is called Sin City, and like Frank never, like, the conceit of Sin City is that it's a city of sin. And everybody is selling sex, and there's like ultimate corruption, and there are good guys, but they're sick. They're superhuman, but they also have these ailments which weaken them. And they just are like invincible Batmen, just going crazy throughout the city, just beating the shit out of people, and like it's kind of like punching Nazis all the time. You really don't mind.
It's true, because in Sin City, like you say, it's so corrupt that that everybody, you don't care who dies, because they really should all die.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did also find too, it's also overtly sexual, but also not sexual. Like, it's sexual in like the way that I feel like I would have thought about sex at the age of 13.
Right.
There's nothing arousing about the sexuality in Sin City. Yeah. It's just boobs, and just like aggressive, flirtatious behavior. The overtones of hookers and stuff are spoken about overtly, but there's not actually any hooking scenes. It's funny. It's ultra violent and has full blown rated R nudity, but somehow manages to keep like sort of a paintbrush over that. It's almost childish.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'd quibble with in that, because like I agree with you, there is something strangely innocent about it. But the one thing that makes me think that there is sort of an adult element is that all of everybody's kink in Sin City, or everybody's sexual proclivities, are centered around role playing. Like a lot of these plots involve role plays of either murderous role plays or sexual role plays, and that's not a teenage behavior, I don't think. Perhaps your advanced teenager is but
yeah, you're right. No, I mean maybe that's just my eyes on it as an adult. It's not as gutty as I remember it when I was 20.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Because I would like to think that's not due to new kinks.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely I didn't find it as offensive or sexual as originally thought. It has a filter over it, and it's purposeful. Because he's shining his light on like Frank's shining his light on the city, but he's also like, he likes to move from like idea to idea quickly without sort of getting you hung up too much on like who the people are or what their backstory is, or you're just sort of like witnessing events in Sin City. That's
that's you perhaps as much as you would be required to know to like have some sort of empathy for the character, or to maybe like get on their side, and then like once that's established, you're absolutely right, like it's go time. The story is now going to happen, and maybe you'll learn a couple extra things or be reminded of a fundamental character trait of your hero. Usually, like, I guess it's Dwight or Marv in this case. Who else is I don't know.
Doesn't really matter. The major ones? Hardigan. Yeah.
Oh, is Hardigan show up in this one too? In this
Hardigan.
Collection?
Oh no, maybe it's because I'm watching the movie.
Yeah. But Hardigan's Hardigan's definitely one of them. He's
and there's
like
Dwight. There's Dwight. I like Dwight.
So, but generally speaking, you only sort of build a relationship with them just because you sort of observe at a distance events in an asynchronous order, which is another interesting choice about Sin City. Like it is a Quentin Tarantino-esque pre Tarantino, I believe. I don't believe there's any real connection. They're probably just drawing from a similar source material, like a similar aesthetic, which is probably why they're able to make movies.
And it's a similar it's that pulp aesthetic that or that noir that perhaps Frank doesn't understand. But I think my favorite one. I don't know. You can get it. I'd like to hear what yours was, but I really enjoy The Customer's Always Right because I feel like that's sort of they led with that in the movie.
Right? Did they?
The Customer's Always Right. That's the entry. That's your entry into Sin City.
My goodness.
You know, the silencer makes a whisper of the gunshot. I hold her close till she's gone. I'll never know what she was running from. I'll check in the morning. That's the best. That's it right there. And you're like, oh, Jesus. Fucking bleak. And you're like, okay, here we are. We're in Sin City. You know.
Yeah. But again, there's that role play thing again. You know, it opens up with, you know, everybody's entering into these. Let's take kink out of it. Like they're entering into some sort of stage drama, which I think like with that dude just pointing to it, it's like the Greek tragedy elements, but like really watered down. You know, like I think that's sort of exaggerating it, but I think he's still touching it something. Because everybody ends up in these roles in these plays, and they dance their dance and they reach their conclusion.
Well, and I think that's why the movie is a bit like awkward too, is because of that narration. That there everybody has this internal dialogue that's narrating the backstory. Marv's is particularly lovely. And that's and then it seems like the bad guys don't get the internal dialogue. Only those hard ass superhero type male leads get the internal dialogue. I think they do it sometimes with the girls from Old Town or whatever.
I don't know. I'm flipping through the book right now and wondering, like, I'm not seeing it. Like, they have lots of dialogue and you get to know them. But I don't think so. I think that they are robbed of any sort of, they too are robbed of any sort of internal monologue. Or narrative voice.
Yeah. And I mean, like, Sin City is misogynistic and problematic in all the ways you'd imagine it to be, but it's almost like feels satirical in that way. Like this is so purposeful. Like it's, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, there is a, like, I agree with you. It is satirical, but not necessarily satirical, but it's just like, here's like, I don't know. It was. I don't want to defend it too much, but like none of these women, to my mind, come off any worse than any of the men, except for the fact that they're sexualizing themselves or selling sex.
No, that's true. And the female and the female protagonists, like the ladies of Old Town and shit like that, when that happens, that they're all like they're shed in a good light, in a powerful light. You know, they're butchering thugs and stuff like that. Like they're powerful. They're not to be trifled with. They're almost Amazonian kind of in nature. So they're not they're not weakened in any way by Frank, like by Frank's writing or anything like that, or made to be victims. I mean, sorry, in some cases that does happen. Yeah. But I mean, the men also turn out to be victims half the time also. So
well, that's exactly it. It takes a different form. Usually the male victim is either overcome by force or overcome by trickery of a woman. Unfortunately, but maybe that's actually where the heart of it is, you know. But even then, like I feel that's what Frank's going for, because it's sort of part of the hard-boiled genre elements that he wants to borrow and turn up to 11. You know, like nuance is not interesting to him. Fat nipples are interesting to him. extremely dangerous women in lingerie. You know, like that's and he loves the female form so much. Like these full page, like what's the one, The Wrong Turn, one where Blue Eyes takes
yeah.
And the Studebaker or whatever, and yeah, she takes him out into the pits, and I was blown away. I'd never read this before. Just these full page images of this beautiful woman in blue, and she takes this man and she, you know, like seduces him at the feet of these dinosaurs, and it's all in black and white, and then it's just like as they're fucking, there's just like rah, and you're like, oh my fucking Christ. I've never seen that. I was like, I'm shocked. I love this. It's very, you know, it's.
I love the rain.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. That's a great one. And she fucking absolutely butchers these guys, and then just like the fucking, and then her weird sort of boyfriend or contractor or whatever. So he's like, yeah, you gonna fuck all of them? Just the ones I like. Fucking commanding her environment.
Yeah. So it, you know, it's like, I'm not going to pretend for a moment that there's not like some sort of, you know, gender encoding and all of this, and like you can't submit this to a feminist reading. It's you can, obviously, like you can.
All right, treat yourself if you want, but
you're just gonna, like, at the end you're gonna be like, well, you're just coming up with the obvious. I don't think there's anything it's criminal. Like, it's not criminal. It's exaggerated. It's like, it's extreme.
It's just overt. It's not. It almost acknowledges that, and then disregards it as it goes, sort of. Like,
yeah. I think that's a good way of putting it.
This is wrong. Fuck it. I don't know. It's
Yeah, this is a good collection. The
did you get into any of the Marv stuff when you did the movie though? The
I did, yeah. I gave 15 minutes to each section.
Goldie, the goddess. Fucking, I don't know, man. He really lived and breathed that role.
I found that Bruce Willis's Hardigan didn't work for me.
No, it didn't do much for me. There was like Bruce Willis reading Frank Miller lines.
Yeah.
Like fucking Mickey Rourke sunk into it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's but you know, I don't go to Bruce Willis for any sort of engagement with the material. Strangely, no. Like he has his own sort of charm that if it happens to work with the sort of theme and mood of your movie, then all the better. But otherwise, he's gonna be Bruce Willis.
Also, I did enjoy Michael Madsen's terrible overacting in those scenes with Bruce Willis as well.
Which one's Michael Madsen again? Oh, is that
he's one of Tarantino's boys there. You're gonna get us both killed.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that fella.
His partner or whatever.
Yeah, it's so flat, so fucking flat. And they're both like just standing there, and you're watching them deliver it, and it looks like a high school play.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing looked that way.
Yeah, it did.
It was great. I really enjoyed I don't know if you picked up Brittany Murphy's part at all.
No,
that was with Clive Owen. That was with Dwight, and that was great. That was with the Benicio del Toro as the fucking cop, Jack the cop or whatever.
Oh, right, because they kill him, and then like there's some concern about a truce with the cops and the
that's
ladies
right,
of Old
that's
Town, right?
Yeah.
The rich mythology of it all.
Yeah, Kate was all appalled because Rory was in this movie.
Oh,
Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, she's terrible. Alexis, I'm just like, God damn it.
They were all bad though. It was to be delivered that way, you know.
I think she's especially bad as an actress generally. Like, she is so flat. She's been in, like, they've attempted to catapult her occasionally, and it's never worked. She's just Rory.
No. And I mean, if you're gonna be in Sin City too, it's just like that's a hard thing to do. Like, it's a funny thing because like some of the actresses went like so aggressively topless.
Yeah.
And then other ones didn't. and it's like it's a strong pride point. I'm happy with that. But then it's like it's a funny choice to want to be involved in the film.
Well, if you're Rory, yeah.
And well, it just in the same thing with Jessica Alba, like you're cast as the lead stripper and then didn't strip, and it's an aggressive casting.
Yeah.
And then to censor something like this, it seems like almost like a pointless effort.
Yeah, because like particularly they do they really go out of their way to panel by panel this thing, and try to bring Sin City to life as best it can. And one thing that it absolutely can't do, even though the film gets as close to possible to doing it.
It'll never be done better than that, I don't think. But
no, well, and unless you went like full cartoon, because like Frank's work is strictly black and white, and it's stupid to say, but this movie has a lot of gray, and that's like, and I understand like this is the best they can do, and I'm not shitting on the movie for its attempt to visually mimic Sin City. I'm just struck by like how impossible it is to mimic Sin City as a book. Like Frank, we haven't talked about his art at all yet. And like I think the reason I would never read this book if it was by anyone else, but with Frank, like he's made an art book. Like this is a fucking art book. Each and every one of these Sin City books is art books.
This is the art that makes him one of the greatest of all time. This is the best. This is I don't know if you don't have this in top 5 comic book art. I mean, like I know there's an arguing point in terms of greatest graphic novels. Like okay, 100% it's in the top whatever 25 or maybe 100. Okay, I'll be loose and say, yeah, there's a lot of great shit out there. But I mean, it's got to be it's in definitely top 100 conversation for graphic novels. But art, it has to be like the combination of his art and writing together, like in terms of like a creators that he has. This has to put him in the top 5. I don't think that there's an amalgamation like this, like a union of art and writing that's like this. There's not many of them anyway. I don't.
No, there isn't. And yeah, that's why Frank's up there. And it's Frank. It strikes me that like just moving away from the art for just a second, like Frank never got canceled, and I think it's because and he really should have. Like he went remember when he went like totally anti-Islamic and then fucking started talking about Occupy Wall Street. An asshole. Yeah, like he just like it was a real fucking like a bad time for him, and it's strange that like none of that shit's coming up.
It's
and
true,
never
yeah,
will come up,
true. And it's funny, like, because that's not something that's okay, and that's not something that public figures or writers are allowed to get away with, without doing some type of, formal reconciliation, some kind of apology, some type of reckoning, for that behavior. But yeah, you're right. He sort of skirted it, but he is sort of fringy.
But in like yes, okay, fine, but he has made 2 major motion pictures with Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez. He's made the RoboCop movies. Like he's not nothing, and he's a major figure in comics even today. Like Comic-Con's huge, and think about how popular comics are. They probably just made Frank Miller all the more popular.
I know. I just got the last thing I had picked up that I got pretty excited about was the Batman Superman one that he did. The Master Race.
Right.
That was
yeah, I think so. Within the past like 6 years or so, something like that.
I didn't pick up enough of it to get the gist of the story, and I also got enough of the story to know that I definitely wasn't going to buy a $50 version of it.
Absolutely not. I've never.
I was like, I see what you're doing here, Frank, and I'm out.
Yeah, exactly. So you got someone else doing the art on this.
Yeah, he hasn't aged well either. Like in terms of like, he's like one of these guys like Todd that his business acumen and whatever he's doing on the sidelines is basically like taken over, and his art's gone. Like it's not with him anymore. And that's the same, just true for Todd.
Yeah, that's fair. And because I've read like Xerxes, and that was the most recent thing he did. And even by the time he hit 300, something had faded. He had entered into sort of a new phase, and it's kind of like a post Dark Knight Strikes Again phase in his art.
Right.
And yeah, it's just much looser. There's like one thing about this is very tight. But he's still like letting, like in the Sin City stuff, he's still very tight. He's got a respect for form that he's going to lose later as he becomes just a little more loosey goosey. And if he needs the book to open up, he lets it, but with a lot of black ink.
Yeah, this is beautifully composed. It's his high point for sure. The Sin City work, I think, for
yeah, but. I think one of the reasons I didn't read Helen back, again, I'm assuming that's what it's called. Individuals can correct me. It's got hell in the title. I remember that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I feel even by then the art something was starting to slip with that fella, and it just didn't entice me the way it used to. And
I can see that. I also feel like there's a cap on Sin City. Sin City's very exciting to me. And so are the stories, so is the artwork, so are the character back and forth. You should see Nick Offerman playing those two dweeb guys.
Yeah. Oh, the Clump and
fuck yeah.
Yeah. Whatever the fucking names are. Yeah.
Anyway, I thought that was great. It's just I don't know. I lost it.
Oh no. Well, the art's a high point. Not really much.
Well, no, sorry. I mean, the books itself, Sin City plays out.
Right.
Like, you can't go back and tell me more Marv stories. It's you could, I guess, but I mean, I got it. I got it all.
Yeah. Unless he introduces some new character.
And I think when you go through 6 volumes like that, but even then, I got everybody. I got Hardigan. I got Dwight. I got Marv. I got every variation of a scumbag who can survive in this city, who's basically a good-hearted soul. I got a kind of a broken down guy. I got a bum. I got an ex-cop. I got them all. I've seen it, and then it's can you make a creepier raper than the yellow bastard? I don't think so. That's a magic moment. And it's just that's what I mean. It burns out. I think Sin City kind of burns out, and you get kind of maxed out, especially if you've got all the volumes you have. If you got 5-6 volumes of this stuff, I mean that's it. That's all of it.
Yeah.
Same with the movies. You watch it, you're like, that's fucking excellent. I love how you did that. Could you do it again or give me more? I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, I was flipping through the second movie, and it did not look as good as
it wasn't.
As
it wasn't. It was okay though. It wasn't bad. They had a large gap, which I'd forgotten about. I didn't realize.
Yeah, almost 10 years. That's wild. Yeah.
There was almost a decade spacing between them, which I didn't remember, and I thought was kind of surprising. And then a lot of people reprised their roles.
Yeah, but they make them younger and stuff, and yeah,
weird. But
yeah, but I guess everybody felt there was something, something at the bottom of that well. So there is a cynicism, surprise, there is sort of within the marketplace of comics. It occurs to me that there is a cynicism, or an opportunism on the part of Frank. Because where did Frank make his chops, right? He did it from Daredevil. He did it from Gotham City. or from Batman. And so like basically Sin City is what if like the worst parts of Hell's Kitchen and the worst parts of Gotham, like what if that was your city? And then what if some Batman like Dark Knight Returns type guy was in that thing? You know, like it does. That's exactly what it is. It's just like trying to juice that Dark Knight Returns shit, you know, in a way, going back to that well over and over. And I think that causes diminishing returns as well, because like these characters aren't as interesting as Batman under Frank Miller's hand. Like Frank's Batman is a thing to behold, and Marv really isn't. He's just kind of a goof, and so I think that
he's the. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. He's your goof with a heart of gold or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm watching. Was it Jessica Alba? Is that who this is?
Yeah.
She's dancing right now as Nancy. She's like
great. Sorry, I didn't.
She's a fucking dead fish.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I'm watching her dance here. Like fine. She's a beautiful woman, but like it seems very like tame and not. But then you look at Nancy in the comic, and she's like this like explosive ink space, you know, like in this thing with these really like everything's.
It's true. You know who caught me off guard was Lucille,
right?
And the Marv lines. Did you see any of that
in the movie or?
Yeah, in the movie.
No, I don't think I did.
Oh, go back to that. Oh my God, Lucille was. He breaks into her house because he needs his pills or whatever, and he needs to get stitched up.
Right.
And she plays a gay character in the show, but she gets kidnapped by fucking Kevin. He fed me my fingers.
Oh shit, I remember.
He made me watch. Yeah.
I love that Elijah Wood is that guy.
Oh, Elijah Wood was phenomenal. But yeah, she had that like crazy like topless gun scene where she pulled the gun on him. Her boobs were everywhere. It was crazy. It was just it was so shocking that like when you see actresses going out on a limb like that to go frame by frame by the comic, and then you got the Jessica Alba sort of shoulder shrug, you know. Not that Jessica Alba needs to be topless. The whole point is that she's a powerful enough actress to not. But
yeah. I don't think it would have worked. I don't think it would have worked like in the scene, like because I don't know, like she's not. I don't know. I guess they can make large breasts work at any given time, but I just feel like it just kind of actually would have looked a little stupid, flopping around all over the place like that.
For the record, too, Frank's very very liberal with penises as well.
Oh yeah, let's be fair.
he likes to punch penises, grab dicks, shoot dicks off, grow dicks back. No worries. It all happens in Sin City.
If you got the money and the power.
That's right. Oh fuck. We should have dipped into that. I should have done more Yellow Bastard, because that's where we can always swing back around.
Yeah. Well, that's not going to be a problem.
I wonder if Chris would like to discuss the Yellow Bastard.
Okay. So these stories are like pretty short. In Booze, Broads, and Bullets, they're kind of exactly what that guy had said, but in the good way. But one of these more than the others is very important to me. And that is Silent Night.
Oh, I was gonna guess. I knew it was.
Yeah. So this came out in November of 1995, and this was before I'd even read Dark Knight Returns or anything like that. Like this was the first comic that I ever read that gave me pause about comics and like really really opened up my eyes and made me think like, wow, this is something. Like this doesn't have to be all the, because it was the image revolution, right? And and just the simplicity of it, and just the use of the white space, the black and white, just to evoke images, and such a simple story. It's Marv. He's out doing good deeds, Here's a prime example of Frank's misogyny here. Or what people take for his misogyny is this Nazi feminazi, essentially, like literal feminazi, smoking a big cigar, selling a young girl with her two cartoon thugs.
who are both like fat Nixons.
Yeah. And so and then Marv busts him out, and like it's silent. It's all these big images, brutal violence, and Marv is just like, your mom has been asking after you, Kimberly. Let's get you home. And then he walks off with her, and you're just like, wow, that's Frank's. That's a Christmas in Sin City.
I like when he pulls the guns and just like crunches the feminazi against the wall as he pops the two guys too. The movement's so great. Like, Marv's just gonna come through you,
She's not concerned. Those guys are like headshot, neck shot, and then she's mouthing off to him. And
he just executes her. Execution.
Yeah. Fucking straight up.
Man, you don't see many executions in comics anymore.
No. And this one really stuck with me. Even though I didn't understand it. I was 15.
There's nothing to understand, right?
Yeah, but I was like, I didn't. It just made other comics look boring. It made other comics, like, I was wondering why they weren't doing stuff like this. And this was kind of the genesis of all of that. And even before reading Dark Knight Returns and falling down that hole and stuff like that, even before I knew who Frank Miller was and what this comic is, I just knew it was something special, and that comics could be something special. So fucking suck that.
We had our suck on that. We had our favorites. There it is.
Yeah. So I don't know. Is there anything more to say?
I don't know. This when I was looking back over Silent Night, I hadn't realized like you were talking about all that negative space and the black and white. A lot of that's that doesn't a lot of people don't have command over is like lighting. That's all lighting. That's all like light sourcing. Like that's a funny thing to add. Jim Lee is good for that, actually.
It's true.
Like his light sources and weather, underrated. Because not a lot of people can command those things as well as deliver great artwork. They're rare. And we're only saying names like Jim Lee and Frank Miller right now. So there you have it.
Yeah. And admittedly, both of them kind of fell off, but both of them can still. I think that is like, it is a weird strength, and I feel that Jim got that from Frank. Like, it's a very similar sort of technique, only it's delivered in Jim's case with whereas Frank will use sort of globs of anti-black for rain or snow. You'll with Jim, it's all like straight pencil lines, but so many of them, so fucking many of them.
And Jim Lee's funny too, because he's in the Image Revolution, but like that guy moonwalked out of there so fucking fast, everybody's head spun.
Yeah.
Like it's because he's very coveted. He was good to walk away and kick the door back down at Marvel or DC any fucking time he feels like it. And there's some of those guys were in that boat as well. And I just, you remember him. I know he's there, but I feel like the things that happened at Image kind of like changed him a little bit. But I find he's still fantastic. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, he's like, but I guess when I say fell off, I mean he's gotten more cartoony in the way that Frank got more cartoony. I like the tighterness that you saw in mid-90s, both of these guys.
Yeah.
But but still, yeah, that's an interesting thing about Jim. When they were starting Image, of Todd and Rob and some of those guys had gotten together, but they didn't do it. Like, they weren't going to do it unless Jim Lee was coming with them, because they understood that if Jim stayed, their gesture would be pointless. And
that's true. There's a few people that if they stayed, like, it didn't make any sense. Jim's the big. I think Jim Lee is the biggest one.
I think so. Yeah. Not only did he have the biggest book, he was just the most. Some people are going to really disagree with us and go. I don't know, but I just feel.
But if Jim Lee stayed and who else went over? Like,
well, I guess we got the Mark Silva. Yeah, Will's Portico. Like, okay, he's only cool because Jim Lee's cool.
Yeah, and he's great. He's great. He's not even fucking barely working anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's not the same. Sorry, he's not the same caliber.
No, it's true.
Well,
even
I don't have to say sorry about that. That's that's just a thing. Even Silvestri, like, the guy is inconsistent. J. Scott Campbell, fantastic, really neat artist. Did some really neat things in that era. Broke off and did his own little Danger Girl thing. All cool stuff. Very cool artwork. Nothing looks like it, but he's gone. Like, he doesn't exist anymore. He's not. He doesn't have the. He's not fucking Babe Ruth. Jim Lee is Babe Ruth.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
Yeah, I love it. So Sin City, a great place for you and me.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. Is there?
No, I thought.
Or is that it? That's just it.
I thought you were gonna say I'll cash the check in the morning.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
Now, all we need is a little energon and a lot of luck.